Hello viewers, welcome to the channel Auto Industry Guide. In this video, we will discuss about the Indian automotive industry. By the end of this video, you will have good understanding of the automotive scenario in India. So do watch till the end. So let us understand what is automotive industry. The automotive industry is the industry involved in the design, development, testing, manufacturing and sales of motor vehicles. Automotive industry touches a large number of industries and is a driver for these industries. The auto industry affects rubber, textile and leather, glass, wood, energy, IT services, construction, transport, machine tool, plastic, electronic, metals and chemicals. Automotive industry can be divided into four types in India: two-wheeler segment, three-wheeler segment, passenger vehicles and commercial vehicles. Two-wheelers are further divided into mopeds, scooters and motorcycles. Three-wheelers are further divided into passenger carriers and good carriers. Four-wheelers are divided into passenger vehicles, utility vehicles and multipurpose vehicles. Commercial vehicles are divided into light commercial vehicles and medium and heavy commercial vehicles. Here we see what types of vehicles are most sold in India. We see the market share of Indian automotive sector. Indian automotive sector is dominated by two-wheeler market. Looking at the pie chart, we can see that 81% of the total vehicles sold in India are two-wheelers. Passenger vehicles comes next with 13% and 3% each for three-wheelers and commercial vehicles. Before we start discussing about the present scenario, it is important to know how the auto industry has evolved over the past decade in India. It can be broadly divided into three sections: before 1982, 1982 to 1991, and 1992 till date. In the first section, before 1982, India famously had License Raj, also known as Permit Raj. India was a closed market. The auto companies would keep the sales scarce and keep the prices high. The waiting period was long and in some cases it was as high as 2 years. Imagine waiting for 2 years just to get your vehicle after booking it. The next period was between 1983 to 1992. During this short tenure, something interesting happened. The government decided to form Maruti Udyog as a joint partnership between Suzuki Motors Japan and Indian government. This also explains why Maruti Suzuki is so popular in India. Second interesting thing that happened during this was a lot of global and local component manufacturers joined hands together. The last period is from 1993 till date. The economic liberalization of 1991 led to automotive sector being delicensed in 1993, which brought in several foreign car manufacturers to set up facility in India. Another milestone during this period was the start of emission control norms with the start of Bharat emission in 2000. Here we see the total number of automotives sold in India. The number of automotives produced and sold in India has gradually increased over the past years. In the financial year 2020, 26.36 million units were produced in India and 21.55 millions were sold in India. These values are from SIAM. SIAM is Society of Indian Automotive Manufacturers, which publishes these values. As you saw, there is a difference between the vehicles produced and sold in India. So what happens to vehicles which are produced in India but not sold in India? I am sure you must have guessed it right. These vehicles are exported. 4.77 million unit of automotives were exported out of India in the financial year 2020. The top export markets for Indian automotive industry are USA, Mexico, United Kingdom, Sri Lanka, South Africa and Bangladesh. One important point to mention is the impact of COVID-19, which has significantly affected the auto industry, with some estimates suggesting recovery of pre-COVID volumes to take as long as 6 years to almost a decade. Personally, I think if India returns to 7% GDP, recovery should take place in 2 to 3 years. Do let me know what you think about the impact of COVID-19 on Indian automotive industry in the comment section. Now we see where the manufacturing cluster in India is. Manufacturing cluster of Indian automotive industry is fairly distributed across the country and can be geographically divided into 4 specific regions: northern, eastern, southern and the western cluster. In the northern cluster, which consists of Delhi, Gurgaon and Faridabad, the major automotive companies are Maruti Suzuki, Hero MotoCorp, Honda, Yamaha, Escort. In the eastern clusters, there are not many major auto companies. Tata Motors in Jamshedpur and Hindustan Motors in Kolkata. Sadly, Hindustan Motors as on today is non-operational. In the southern cluster, there are many major auto companies in the surrounding areas of Chennai, Hosur and Bangalore. Ashok Leyland, Mahindra and Mahindra, Royal Enfield, Ford, BMW, Renault Nissan, Bharat Benz, Toyota, TVS, Kia Motors, Hyundai Motors, Volvo, and Isuzu. In the Western cluster, there are many companies in the surrounding areas of Pune, Nasik, and Aurangabad. Force Motors, Bajaj Motors, Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, Volkswagen, Skoda, Audi, Fiat, Jaguar Land Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Jeep, Premier, Piaggio, KTM. In Gujarat, there is Suzuki Motors and MG Motors. Do let me know in the comment section if I have missed any major manufacturer. Now we see the key players in each sector. For two-wheelers, the key players are Hero MotoCorp, Honda, Bajaj, and TVS. For three-wheelers, the key players are Bajaj, Piaggio, TVS, and Atul Motors. Bajaj dominates the segment with over 60% market share. For passenger vehicles, the key players are Maruti Suzuki, Hyundai, Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors, and Honda. Maruti Suzuki dominates the segment with around 50% market share. For commercial vehicles, the key players are Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, Mahindra and Mahindra, and Bharat Benz. Bharat Benz is the local subsidiary of Daimler India. The segment is dominated by Tata Motors with over 60% market share. Now we understand how big the Indian automotive industry is. The Indian automotive industry contributes to more than 7% of the annual GDP every year. It employs to more than 1.3 million people directly. It is considered amongst the largest employers in non-agriculture sectors in India. It is the world's fifth largest automotive industry, and some consider it as the fourth largest, depending upon which vehicles are considered in the automotive production. One thing which is clear, the Indian automotive industry is expected to go up the order in this decade. It is currently behind China, US, Japan, and Germany. In the global context, the trends which are seen are electrification, autonomous driving, and shared mobility. But in the Indian context, the trends are related to pollution, safety, and luxury market. These trends are very specific to India. Emission norms. Emission norms got strict from this year. With the ever-increasing pollution in major cities, the Government of India decided to bring in Bharat Stage 6 norms from 1st April 2020. This is interesting considering that India skipped Bharat Stage 5 and went directly from Bharat Stage 4 to Bharat Stage 6. These norms are in line with the European norms Euro 6. These norms will help reduce harmful byproducts from automotive, namely particulate matter and carbon monoxide. This will help India in the long run as the vehicles sold from 1st April will need to meet the strict norms. There is a plan to bring Euro 7 norms in Europe, and we can expect Bharat 7 norms in near future. Safety norms. Vehicles will soon have BNV SAP ratings. Bharat new safety assessment program. Vehicles sold will have a star-based ratings based on their safety performance. Unfortunately, India has one of the world's most unsafe roads. In the year 2019, over 1,54,000 lives were lost on the road. These ratings will help focus on the safety aspect of the vehicle, and buyers would be encouraged to buy vehicles with high safety ratings. This move is also in line with Global NCAP and Euro NCAP, where vehicles sold globally have safety ratings. Next trend is the increase in luxury market. The luxury market is expected to increase in India. The rich and affluent are expected to drive the luxury market sales, as Indian GDP is expected to increase as we move ahead in the decade. The Indian luxury market is dominated by Germany's big three, namely Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and BMW. Along with these companies, there is British luxury car manufacturer Jaguar Land Rover. This segment has increased significantly over the past decade and is further expected to increase. The two-wheeler segment is not left behind. Companies like KTM, Benelli, Indian, Java, Harley-Davidson, BMW, Triumph are lined up to launch their premium, sports, and super bikes in coming years. Before we end this video, some notable mention of some prominent Indian automotive brands known globally. Mahindra and Mahindra is not only known as an SUV manufacturer but is also world's largest tractor manufacturer by volume. It has majority stakeholdings in the South Korean SUV manufacturer SsangYong, and it also owns design firm Pininfarina, which is responsible for design and styling of global brands worldwide like Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. The next brand known globally is Tata Motors. Tata Motors is amongst the top 3 commercial vehicle manufacturer by volume. It owns British luxury car brand Jaguar Land Rover. Jaguar Land Rover are UK's largest car manufacturer. Tata Motors also owns Daewoo. And lastly, I would like to mention Bajaj Motors. It is world's largest 3-wheeler manufacturer. Bajaj exports 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers to over 70 countries, and as their logo says, it is world's favorite Indian. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video as much as I have enjoyed making it. Do let me know how you found this video in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.